One race to come at Pukekohe. It is the 125. We've seen how close the racing is here. How close is it going to be this time, Pav? It's the tourist trophy for the 125.
Well, the light charge of the light brigade, they're underway. Like, this is a nest of angry hornets, and the racing we've seen has been fantastic. Like, the top 10, you could cover them in a blanket.
Well, it's the 114 on the front, and that is Kirk Pritchard, and we've seen him come from the back virtually to the front in the previous races here this afternoon. What can he do this time round? The one to watch for is number 9. He's the champion-elect, and that is Cameron Jones. But it's the 114 coming through, and Tim MacArthur there, the 39 there in it as well. So to Adam Chambers.
It sure is about hard braking too in this class, and fast cornering speed. These things have got around about 40-odd horsepower, little single-cylinder two-stroke. Most of them out there are Hondas, Phil.
Yeah, we've only got a couple of Yamahas in there. And the Hondas, I guess, Pav, because they're affordable, and you've mentioned it before, that this is like Jap import racing.
It is. You can buy a bike like this for 7 or 8 grand and get out there and be competitive. It's just amazing. Look at this.
So across the line they go, 114, Pritchard in the front, Jones in second place, then it's Chambers, Jason Easton, the veteran, in there in 5th place. Just up ahead of him it is Tim MacArthur. Things about to change now as they come into the S's. Oh, Cameron Jones had a good long look on the inside of Pritchard, couldn't make the pass work, but I think Easton's moved up a spot here. Chambers goes back to 4th, then it is the 39 of MacArthur.
Well, keep an eye out too for number 21, Avalon Biddle. She's a young lass, and boy is she good around Pukekohe.
Look at this, you can certainly see when they go to the brakes, they virtually stand up on the pegs, use the wind as much as the twin disc brakes on these little 125cc machines. Pritchard hangs on to it, but I think Jones has got the better of him. No, Pritchard's got track position, so he stays in front. It's the 114, the motorbikes.co.nz sponsored man from Cromwell.
Well, there's about 9 of these guys currently running in the 1:06 bracket. They're actually holding each other up a little bit because the lap record is held by Midge Smart. You might recall he's been doing incredibly well in the 600 sports production class. He's been around here at 64.5.
Wow, that is a fair bit quicker than what we've seen these guys go. We've got a leader change. It's number 39 in the front now, and that is Tim MacArthur from Dunedin. And right in behind him, it's Christchurch's Cameron Jones, and these two have been doing this right throughout the 5 rounds of the Castrol New Zealand Superbike Road Racing Championship for 2008. And look at this, they're not done with yet. The veteran comes down the inside. Oh, and MacArthur splits them. They're going to be 3 abreast going into the hairpin pad. When have you seen that before?
Just incredible. Jason Easton looks like he's got the march on them.
Well, Easton's starting to show out. He's probably the most experienced. He's probably the oldest in the field, and he's probably one of the heaviest as well, but he's doing a fantastic job on his little Honda 125. Nothing MacArthur can do about it. You see Jones just shuffling back there. He's coming into the clutches now of Chambers. That's the battle for 3rd and 4th in there, as well as number 114, and that's Pritchard. He was the early race leader, so they're shuffling from the back to the front of this field.
I was talking to Paul Cook from Pit Stop Otahu. They're the ones who are sponsoring this particular race, and he said, look, unless you're 60 kgs, you really don't have a chance of winning these races.
We focus in on the number 5, the Red Devil Racing Swan Insurance Honda of James Mackay. Currently sitting in about 6th place, but forget about where he's sitting at the moment. It doesn't matter that if you're leading with 1 lap to go. It's a little bit like Formula First racing. Doesn't guarantee that you'll win the race. They come from as far back as 8th and 9th in that last lap.
Yeah, it teaches these young kids racecraft too. A lot of emphasis on slipstreaming and planning ahead.
And I guess, Paul, with the lack of power, it's all about carrying the speed through the corners as well. And I know that's Dennis Charlotte always says that it's his 125 racing that's got him where he is now. And, of course, now he's the new 600 sports production champion.
Well, if you look at the MotoGP too, a lot of those champions have come through the ranks. 125, 250, then the big class. So you're right. It's all about learning how to keep that throttle open longer.
Well, Jason Easton just got his pocket picked there by Tim MacArthur. Pritchard's right back up there as well. Cameron Jones tucked under the loose. We've got a couple down in the S's by the look of it. Just saw the glimpse of fiberglass hitting tarmac. 2 down.
At least they're sitting up. That's a good sign.
Well, it is. But I think we might see a restart here. The rest of the field funnel in and out of the hairpin. Still MacArthur in the front, Jones in 2nd. Pritchard is there, Easton is there as well. Chambers back in 5th place now.
One of the things this teaches is patience too. You can't get the red haze on. You've got a plan. Otherwise you end up making mistakes.
Well, there's a graphic example. Oh, and the red flag comes out. The ambulance out on the circuit as well. So the race is stopped. Well, at 4 laps at half distance, we're getting set for the restart now. We've lost a couple, but the heavy hitters are still there. And once again, it's a great start on the centre of the racetrack for Jason Easton. He's going to lead it into Jenny, and here comes Cameron Jones. Pritchard is right there, so too is Chambers. So it's the usual suspects back at the front, Pav.
Jones looks really good too. He looks very, very smooth.
Must be hard for someone like Jason Easton that's obviously used to close racing. We've seen him in Formula 3 before on his amazing little TIG craft. And when there, you'd have to say he probably had an advantage with power and handling, but here the bikes are just so even. And we've mentioned it before, he's probably a little bit bigger, certainly a lot older than some of these guys.
Well, it will be an uphill battle if you're if you're over 60 kgs on a 40 horsepower motorbike, you've got your work cut out.
Cameron Jones, the Dunlop shod bike, the number 9, the Honda in the front. Chambers has worked his way up into second place now. It's a great result for the man from Hawke's Bay, the Swan Insurance Clive Charles sponsored machine. There is Jason Easton out of the Manor 2.
It's very strong too down the South Island 125 racing. There's a good progression from the 150 street stock. So yeah, this is great stuff.
Well, there is absolutely nothing in it for the battle for second through about fifth. Cameron Jones just got a little bit of advantage now as they come through the S's again. Chambers closes that up as they head into Castrol. And look at the speed he carries out onto the back straight. So that's going to put him in good stead when they get to the end of the long straight here at Pukekohe Park Raceway. It's the Castrol 2008 New Zealand Superbike Road Racing Championship. It's the Tourist Trophy for the 125s. And it's 2 races within one, Pav. We saw a frantic 4 laps. The race was stopped. We've restarted it. And we're back to the status quo. Chambers used that speed he carried into the back straight to good advantage. He goes into the lead.
It was always going to happen, wasn't it? He carried very good speed onto the back straight, and you knew he was just biding his time as that little Honda slipstream past Cameron Jones.
Oh, and Jones down the inside as they come up over the Ford Mountain. It's one thing I've been impressed with young Jones is even when he seems to be in trouble, he can get himself out of it, and he's done it here again. He fans across the line. He'll be in second place. Here comes the challenge now from Dunedin's Tim MacArthur. He's back in third. Then we've got Mackay through in fourth. Now, what's happened to Jason Easton?
Wow, looks like he's dropped back.
He shuffled back to about 8th place. Just a slight mistake is all it's going to take.
He's going to come back, though. You know he's a charger. He won't settle for 8th place.
So they fan out as they go through the kink on the long back straight here at Pukekohe. Cameron Jones and Chambers arguing about the number 1 spot at the moment. Adam Chambers doing a good job down the inside. Here comes the last of the late breakers right around them. And I got a feeling that was Pritchard. Man, what a move.
That was a serious bit of late breaking. He's been watching Andrew Stroud, hasn't he?
Well, I think he has, and he's up against another one of the last of the late breakers, and that's Tim MacArthur in the 39, and it was Pritchard, and he's moved his way up into 3rd place. You've got to be brave on these things, Pav.
You do. Look, the difficulty, too, of those really, really late braking exercises on a 125 is you lose your cornering speed at the hairpin.
Well, a big move this time is coming from number 5, and that's James Mackay. He goes into the front. Cameron Jones slots into second place. Then it is Chambers, and then right in behind them, it is Pritchard, and then in behind them, the 39, and then it is Easton. So all of the heavy hitters are there. We've got probably half a lap to go down the back straight for the last time. Who's going to win this race? Will it be the guys in the front? At the moment, Cameron Jones sitting pretty at the front of the field. Mackay moves up the inside and dives down under braking, so he's going to lead it coming out of the hairpin. But is he going to lead it at the finish line, Pav?
Well, it's a sprint. There's 7 of them that are in the contention here.
So 5 in the front. This is James Mackay. Second place man. The last time we looked it was Jones. It's not anymore. It's Adam Chambers. And then I think it might be Tim MacArthur making a run. In the 39, right in behind him, Jason Easton. Up and over the top they come. Checkered flags are going to come out, and it's going to be the 5. He's going to get there. So it is James Mackay that saves his best performance for last. In second place, it is Adam Chambers, and in 3rd place, it is Kirk Pritchard. 4th place, it is Alistair Hugenbosom, and in 5th place, it's Jason